What's up, guys? Matt Visual giving you another dose of Guild Wars 2, and today I have Dontain, I guess for a little let's talk or discussion, whatever you want to call it. And we talk, we ramble around about Guild Wars 2. And if you guys want to check him out after you watch this video, the link is in the description. There'll be a video like this on his channel as well. So go check him out, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys later. Yeah, I'm thinking about it hard. And I just brain farted there. Alright, so alright. So yeah, what we wanted to talk about was dynamic events. You kind of need a group to play them, right? And everyone's gonna be like higher level, and you're just starting the game like a couple months later. And who's gonna be there to to help you? You know, like it's gonna be empty, and we're figuring out like what are the solutions for that? What do you think?
The scenario you're talking, the scenario would be like post Guild Wars, being launched, and people are higher level because they've already been working on leveling. So why the hell would they come back? And it's not a game with a sub fee, so
Right.
Will there be enough low level people coming into the game who are interested enough in the game? Not people like us who are already sold on it already.
Right. Because there's so many dynamic events in the game, and you kind of need a group to play. Because I try to solo a couple events, especially some bosses, and that didn't work out too well at all. You know, I got my behind whooped pretty much. And
It has to be noted that there are different kinds of dynamic events. So the four I don't feel like there's four, but in my head there are four. There are two are the kind you can solo, and two are the kind you can't. The one is the dynamic event that is just like another one of my favorite things about the game. Some NPC will come up to you and be like,
yeah,
there's some stuff's going down, and you're like, whoa, really cool, and you want to go do that. And typically those things are soloable because there's NPCs around or
to help you.
yeah, depending on what they're pointing you towards. So if they're pointing you towards a group event, which it says like group event in the upper right corner. Group events, you will not solo those. The NPCs are not strong enough to survive what's happening in those. So that stinks.
Right.
That's one of those examples of, hey, I really want to do this, and an NPC ran up to me and said, "You," and you're like, "Me? Yes!" And then
We need your help.
We can't, and you just can't do it.
Right, so, the giant one, the one that's in the Char City. There's like this big giant that comes in and busts through the door and like, I'm gonna kill everyone. And there's like 20 NPCs there, but they all get slaughtered.
Every time they just all die.
They just all die, and there's no help whatsoever. And there's no way. I mean, a couple of our guys were going like, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna kill this boss, and we're gonna be awesome. No, it was three of us, and we still couldn't do it. So, two more people came, and they revived us, and we kept reviving each other, and we eventually beat the boss. But yeah, those types, I don't see how. Yeah, that's gonna be quite tough.
Well, you said you had the people do three. I've had people tell me on Twitter like, "Oh, I did that kind of shit with three people."
Really?
Me and
well,
my
I guess
two
it
friends.
depends.
And it's like, yeah, it does. It really does depend. If like you're there, if you just happen to be there when the giant's like, "Yo, what up?" and he just like starts banging the door down, then yeah, you have a distinct advantage over somebody just showing up because you look at the map and you'll see that the waypoint is contested, and you'll go there going, "Oh, I want to see what's going on," and if nobody else is there, then it's very difficult to do, even with a couple of people. But if you have the backing of all those NPCs at the beginning, then yeah, because I think you can basically take the guy down.
Right.
With the extra NPCs. It's not like the NPCs are going to carry the fight, but it's better than no one else and everyone's dead.
Because the boss will be attacking the NPCs more than attacking you, especially if you're ranged.
Yeah, and if you're trying to resurrect NPCs one at a time, they're just gonna die.
Right.
Over and over again, and you're gonna get nowhere. So of the four that I mentioned, there are group events like the Giant, and like pretty much anything that just says group event that's meant to be taken on by a group. You cannot solo those. They're not designed to be soloable, no matter what kind of weapon types you want to use. By yourself, no matter how smart you are, how well you play, you can't. You really, they're not really designed to be defeated by one person. There's probably scenarios where, like, if you're higher level and you're there and you have traits and you like you do get sidekicked down, but the stats from your gear are not affected by the sidekicking. So you're there, but you're a little stronger than
Everybody
a
else.
level 11 or whatever you're being sidekicked down to. So maybe you can take them out with some traits, and but yeah, those I don't like. And in a world where there aren't that many people playing, say today's the launch of say whatever, like, oh man, Black Ops 2 just came out, and people play more than one kind of game, especially people who are attracted to Guild Wars 2 without a subscription fee. Yeah, probably not that many people are logging in that day. That does stink. But in my experience, there are plenty of ways to level up. You're not going to be impeded in any way to increase your level. There's plenty of there's the other events that are just like for example, there's the one in the Char area where there's like a blockade. So there's like a tree in the middle of the road, and then there's separatists firing trebuchets, and so the event is to get rid of the blockade and then kill the people and then kill the trebuchets, and then you complete that event. You can do that solo. Anything that just literally doesn't say group event, you can do it by yourself. You probably might die, because I did, but if you're smart about it, you can get stuff done, and that's what I like about that stuff.
Right. Like me and my friend, all basically, I think you can have a good time and level up fine with just you and someone else. Me and my friend, during a stress test, we leveled up a few levels. And the thing is, you have to look at, we have 5 places. We have the Azura, Savari, Char, Norn, and Human. So you have 5 areas that you can go and spread around if you would like to. So you get a different 5 different areas for the same 1 to 15, and 5 different areas from 15 to 25. So even if you can't do all the events if no one's there, there's so many other events that you can solo, and you can just teleport pretty quickly. Get one place to the other, and then level up solo there as well.
Yeah. The and that's excuse me, that's a good thing to point out. But a lot of people who will be very critical of Guild Wars 2 will say that doing that's just a cop out. Like,
Right.
if you can't, if there are dynamic events in the game, and the game is based on and built around these for your leveling content, and you can't do them, then real harsh critics are going to be like, well, that's a fail, that's a flaw in the system. And I would agree with them, because yes, sure, you can go to the Norn place and the Human place and whatnot, but it really doesn't matter, because when you try to come back and do certain events, like the ones that give you skill points, some of them are not completable solo. Some of them are.
Yeah.
Some of them aren't. It just depends on, like, there's the one where at the Meattoberfest, there's the one, she's like the snow leopard shaman or something, and she wants you to fight her. And if you can beat her, she'll give you a drink or something. And when you drink it, you get a skill point. Like, that kind of stuff soloable. It's designed to be that way.
Right.
But there are other events where it's like,
Bosses.
There's Duke Barridan's tomb, where there's an event that goes on in there where there are a lot of champions in there, and you cannot do that by yourself. So certain things like that, I will say this is not good, because if it's here, I want to do it. That's the whole thing about the game, is the dynamic events and wanting to do them. If I can't do them, I get kind of antsy. Now, that one thing that would really help out, in my opinion, getting this stuff done, would be like a better chat system. And I know that they have plans to make the chat system in the game better than what it is, because you have local chat, which is, who knows what the range on that is. I think that's zone wide, to be honest.
That'll be good.
But
If
they
it's
don't
zone-wide.
have a they don't have a say chat. They're talking about putting in a say chat, and that's good. So having a zone wide chat and being able to be like, hey, anybody want to help me get this skill point over here? And then people go, no, a skill point? Well, hell, I want to get that. And then people, I think the way that the game is designed, they are already incentivized at the very core of Guild Wars 2 to want to get with you and
You're right.
get something done, because you can two-man some of these things, no problem. But one-manning them is
Yeah.
just utterly impossible. Better chat would be good. and then the idea that you come back at higher levels, and then come back and get those things done. The group events, those are just there. They're cool that they're there, like the giant thing. That's not something that if you don't do, you will never 100% the map, because that's another factor that a lot of completionists and people that want to do that stuff, because you get really good rewards for 100% completing an entire map, right?
Right.
All the hearts, all the skill points, all the points of interest, and all the waypoints. I think that's all that it covers. You cannot do that by yourself. And there are just, the Explorer title, just crazies from WoW who are just going to be like, God, and then, okay, get a friend. But yeah,
Right. I mean, if you're a high level, do you think you will come back to the lower levels? Me, unless it's to help Timmy, my friend Timmy, who just got into the game and is a casual player, and I need to help him. I don't see myself going back. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be like daily quests, achievements, as you mentioned. But will I really go back to like? There's so many areas. There's so many areas. What are the odds of a whole bunch of high levels going back to help someone, randomly help someone? The
I don't think, I think I fall along the same lines as you, where like personally, unless it's somebody that I know or it's somebody like in my guild,
right,
who and they would be then saying in guild chat, I could really use some help over here with this thing that I just can't do by myself. Because remember, none of what you can't do by yourself keeps you from leveling. You can level up just fine. But yeah, if it was somebody I know or a friend of mine or a friend on his alt or something, then I'd be more than happy to, because of the way that the game rewards you for being a higher level person and going back. The big thing to me, because they've mentioned this, they've mentioned the whole um, incentivizing higher level players to go back and help lower level players. They mentioned that from early on. And in my experience, you do get XP. It's not a huge amount of XP, but it's there. It's better than nothing, like in WoW, where things
right.
are
And you
great.
still get karma as well.
Yeah, you do get karma and you get money. Again, it's not a lot. But they mentioned that the loot drops, you will get level equivalent loot drops. Sorry about that, my stupid phone. Um, and that's the part that interests me the most, because I think loot and being able to upgrade what you're wearing is really important to players in this game. And because everyone loves karma, because we all like looking for that karma vendor that sells us gear. So I think that if there's a a loot incentive and it actually is in the game and it works, then you're gonna see it happen. You're gonna see people like, my theory was that there that you will see guilds of people. There will be a guild somewhere created by somebody. And it's like the guild of helper outers or the get backers or whoever the fuck they are, right? And they are you can then represent that guild if you feel like helping lower level people out. And then and I just think it would be a really nice thing to have a guild like that, and then have a majority of the server, it'd be well known thing like, hey, if you want help, if be sure to do like a slash who on the such and such a guild of people who help low level people out, and then have them, have them dispatch a squad to you. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
far fetched idea, but I think that if there is a loot incentive, like if I go and I'm like, I'm here to help, and I'm looting possible upgrades for myself from my level, then screw all the less XP and the less karma that I normally be getting in a zone where I should be at, like, say 50 or 60, and the money. If there's loot that I'm going to get, that's great. If there isn't, then that really screws up the entire idea.
One thing to add to that is they said they're going to be able to like kind of change some of the dynamic events that are going on there. They're going to be able to put a little bit of new ones. I don't know how they're going to really implement all that, but if that does work, because that's a lot of events there, that's in the multiple areas. I don't know how that's going to work, but if they do that, that'll also be another incentive to actually go back and play it if people are interested into that. I don't know how many people would be interested in playing some new stuff, but it's well, as you said, there's gonna be karma and there's gonna be some loot drops as well. So
Oh, you're talking about just like if they have patch notes and they say in the char 1 to 15 zone we added some extra dynamic events.
yeah,
Go check them out. Would a level a higher level, go back and see them. I
Exactly.
think they would if they are as if they enjoy dynamic events as much as I do. I want to see as many as I possibly can.
Right.
But again, I think that they will have no problem putting in new ones if they feel like they have to, because dynamic events are this game's quests. And so just as easy as it is for Blizzard to say write a quest line, it has to be just as easy for ArenaNet to make these new events. It just has to be. That has to be their norm, and they've touched on that topic quite a bit because Reese Sosby is the one who makes sure that all the quests and all the way that the world feels as you level through it. She's the one. She's like the. I don't. I'm somebody's gonna get some really big ArenaNet person's gonna get mad at me, but I like to think of her as like the Chris Metzen of ArenaNet. She's the one who just makes sure everything makes sense.
Right.
And Chris Messin's not perfect either, but but yeah, I just I would I'd like I would. You could
Yeah.
count on me to go check them out, but I'm not gonna help you do everything. Which I would always want somebody to help me do everything.
Right. All right. Well, what are you going to be doing when Guild Wars 2 comes out? So we're going to both answer that for our both of our audiences.
Okay.
What are you going to be doing when Guild
What
Wars
am I gonna do?
2? Yeah.
I'm going to. We talk.
Um,
There's talk about. Are you gonna like PVE? Are you gonna PvP? And
Right.
people ask me that a lot. And my channel's WoW audience, who I hope gravitate towards Guild Wars 2 in the future after the game comes out and all that stuff, uh, they know me from PvPing, and they know that I like PvPing. But surprise, I'm gonna do a lot of PvEing in this game because leveling is so fun. And just like you want to level so that you can be 30 to 35 to go do dungeons.
right.
Like you just want to do that.
And
That's what I feel
challenge
like.
dungeons, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, just like the next thing to do. One of the things I tell people is that like I have friends who just they dissect Guild Wars too. They're like, well, when you find a guy and you revive him and you follow him back to the town, that's just like an escort quest. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I guess at the bare bones of it. But for me, it's like you could do anything you want in Guild Wars 2, and you're considered leveling up. You're considered like it's your story, it's your adventure, it's your legend, whatever, however you want to have at it. And the fact that you can just go do whatever you want and level is just way too attractive to me. And I hate PVE in World of Warcraft. I just questing and the traditional questing that I've done for years. I'm just not a fan of it.
Right.
But it's so refreshing in Guild Wars 2 that I feel like I'm gonna drown in it, and then I'm gonna not drown and die, but drown and just stay down there and just love it because it's so fun. So yeah, I'll do that, but I will be PvPing later on. I think the only real reason that I want to do a lot of PvE though is because I'm more interested in WW PvP because I feel like I understand structured PvP pretty good. Like I get what the point is. WW is a little more adventurous and it requires you to be higher level, even though you are kicked up to 80 in stats, but you don't have traits.
Right.
So I would want to
It's
acquire all that. So
it's funny. You're a couple people have turned. They're like, "Oh, I'm not gonna do PVE. It's all about the PvP. The PvP is awesome in Guild Wars 2." And then they play the game and they're like, "Whoa, like, geez, this is fun. This is fun. Come, let's go play together and let's go do dynamic events together. And we grab each other's hands and skip along like in the like in the cartoons. It's like, yeah, let's go do stuff together. Like that's not done in MMOs. Like, oh, let's even though that's the whole point of MMOs, isn't it? Like to play together, but yet it doesn't feel like
to go do things with other
yeah,
people in the multiplayer online universe.
exactly. That is like it doesn't make any sense to me. How come this hasn't been done before? But anyways, what I'm gonna be doing on my channel is pretty much, I guess, the same thing. I'm gonna be doing a lot of PVE. I know I'm gonna get sucked into the PvP because I just wanna, it's gonna be a certain time where you just wanna own somebody. I'm just like, yeah, I just owned. You just want that feeling, wrestled up. So I'm
Mm.
probably gonna tag along with a few guys who are, so they can teach me the ropes. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna try to get good at PvP and put out some some content with that, and also, of course, I'm gonna starting back up the little skits and short films that I do as well. So those little funny bits that
Oh yeah, those will be interesting. Just things you find
right things I
out about the game, and you're like, yo, yeah, I got this idea for no, keep your clothes on for this one. It's even funnier. Like, oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, I enjoy those a lot. Those are funny.
right. Well, I guess that's pretty much it, man. We went a little bit long on this one. We tried to keep it short, but we just kind of ramble, don't we? Just ramble on,
That's what we're supposed to do. So,
ramble. All right. Well, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video.
mm,
Mm.
yes.
Get crick.
Well, if you didn't enjoy the video, you're a terrible person. Uh, why are you listening to two grown men talk about Guild Wars 2 for how long? Almost 30 minutes. Do yourself a favor and click like,
Yeah.
and then that's it.
All right. See you guys later.